Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of Jimmy's Jambox. We're here. We're back at it again, and we're going to get on into it. But before we do, as always, please make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. You know, I don't know where they are, but you do, and I trust you. With that being said, here's a quick word from our sponsor. Mellow Mint. A bright and refreshing blend of Pacific Northwest grown peppermint and spearmint, paired with high-quality CBD hemp that's not only delicious, but helpful with digestion. The Brothers Apothecary. Fine teas and remedies. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Again, shout out The Brothers Apothecary. Make sure to click the link below. Go get you some. With that being said, let's go ahead and get on into it. Here is today's guest.
What's happening? Mike the True.
Hello. Thank you so much for joining us.
Absolutely.
Why don't you tell us a little bit about, where you're from, what you do, give us that Tinder profile of your involvement with music.
Besides the Tinder part, but I'm an artist, I like to call myself an artist rather than just like a rapper, just because a rapper I feel like only does one genre, and an artist does all of it. An artist paints the picture for you, and I feel like that's what I like to call myself. I go by Mike the True. I got into music just from a few unfortunate, events that later on, if we get there, we'll get into. But yeah, it was just more so I needed to find out how to do something that takes my mind away from the reality without actually leaving it, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I get that. And did you start with an instrument? Did you go immediately to vocals? How did you start on it?
Immediately vocals. I listened to, growing up, I just listened to music all day. I didn't know ever that I had no interest growing up in being a artist. Mm-hmm. And then when I needed a hobby, it was just the first thing that came to mind, and my older brother, my family believed in me instantly. So I figured out I got to take him, on the journey and get the journey started,
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
Oh, yeah. All right. Now, these next couple questions, these are ones that we just ask everybody. It's just there's kind of fun early on questions.
Yeah.
And this first one, it's one we ask early, it's one we ask often, and it's definitely a crowd favorite. What was the first album you ever bought with your own money?
First album I ever bought with my own money. I'm going to sit here and be as true as my name is. I don't think I've ever bought an album or in my entire life.
That's actually, it's not as uncommon an answer as you'd think, especially with younger music generation people there's just this line where the internet just came in and took over.
Absolutely. Yeah. My first, albums downloaded were through Apple Music, I think. Yeah. I don't think I ever went to a store and bought. I would have to scroll down forever to see what my first download was on my Apple Music,
I gotcha. What then were some of the what were some of the artists that you were listening to when you were first getting into music?
When I was first getting into music was 3 artists. I would say Rich the Kid, Chief Keef, and McConan.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Yeah. Very different genre.
Hey, that's music. That's all right. I think that the appreciation for a wide span of music, especially early on, I think just really helps when you cultivate it to the point where you want to start creating it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh yeah. And then what was one of the first live shows you ever went to that was one you wanted to go to?
Lil B.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
God.
Hell yeah.
Then I followed up with Soulja Boy. Who else? And then I think the next person I seen was Roddy Ricch, and then Lil Uzi Vert.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So.
Hell yeah. Solid lineup for sure.
Yeah, it was a very just the energy was. I think the craziest energy though, as far as a concert, was Roddy Ricch, because at the time he was going off with The Box. His number one hit song. yeah, the energy was through the roof
Oh,
at that concert, you know. So
Oh yeah,
I hope I get to rock stages like that soon.
definitely.
So yeah.
Oh, yeah. And then to round the intro portion out here, do you have a moment where you like decided to transition from just like making music because it was something to do to like, this is the thing you have to do?
Oh yeah, I don't even think I ever was in the other mentality. Like as soon as I started,
So you just started, hit the ground running.
yeah, I knew like when I made my very first song, even doing it, I was just like, you know what, like this is it right here. You know, I don't got no desire to do nothing else.
Yeah.
Honestly, I try 100 things a year, you know, but you know, you just have to find things to do that can fund the music.
Yeah.
But in reality, you know, I got a solid space, you know, in my work life, you know. So for me, you know, it's more so building the mini team around myself.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really do this by yourself unless you know, if you blow up, and that's different. And if you happen to just have a hit and you ain't got nobody around you, like all power to you. That's like crazy.
Yeah.
But you can't really enter this industry. And I had to learn it because I've been doing music for 7 years. I'm going on my 8th year. And I had just finally realized, like as of last year, that you cannot do this by yourself.
Yeah, no, I think it's especially if you can acknowledge like what your specific strengths are and what things like other people could do that are stronger at it that would like help you grow exponentially and let them go with you along the way.
Absolutely. Yeah, you have to, you know, so I had a manager in the past, you know, we kind of just went through different, you know, routes. You know, I took a different route and he took a different route.
Yeah.
We're just on 2 different pages. You know, I got my manager Mac now, you know, so he's from Las Vegas, you know, and he's very, very extremely locked in. I'm not going to put his business out there 'cause I don't know how he likes to move about that, but he got my back, I got his.
He's good at what he does.
Yeah, he's amazing at what he does. So this year going forward in 2024, like it's all gas, no brakes, you know, once the year starts.
Yeah.
You know, so
That's exciting. I think,
super.
There's definitely there's like the double-edged sword of getting a manager in any situation.
Absolutely. Because, you know, be careful.
Yeah, like because the argument is always, oh, what do they really do that the artist? There's plenty that they do that the artist doesn't need to do, shouldn't have to focus on to take away from the art.
Yeah.
But some managers, some people who fill that managerial role can take advantage of the situation easily. So
oh yeah. Like he's like the manager, like the mentor.
Yeah.
The most important thing though is like we was homies first. You know, you can't go into like getting a manager thinking you're about to just get a manager and there's no relationship outside of the music part.
Yeah. Well, then they should want to see you succeed.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean? Like that's such an important part of it. And it's easy to tell if that's happening or not. You know what I mean? Like you could tell by reaction for the most part if they are there to see you win.
Yeah, absolutely. And he 100% is, you know, he rocks me the long way. He rocks me the way I need, you know, someone to rock me because I don't really let too many people, I don't really let anybody in, you know, to my music scene like that, you know, just because it's so personal to me as to why I even started it. So like for me, I'm like, if you're not like locked in doing this, like I don't need you around me.
I got you.
Nothing against them though. Like for me, it's just like such a heart thing.
It's a really intimate space for you.
Yeah, I'm like I don't ever record in front of anyone either. Like I don't bring anyone to the studio with me. I usually go by myself. You know, and it, you know, because for me, when I make my music, I need it. I think the main thing is people are too worried about making music for others.
Yeah.
You need to make it for yourself first. Like for me, I listen to everything. So for me, I'm like, what would I want to listen to? You know what? Scratch that. Let me just make it. And that's kind of how it became a regular routine for me.
Hell yeah.
So yeah.
Hell yeah. All right. Now let's go ahead and let's dive into you in music today. Let's talk about the present. And I mean, we're just going to knock out the super easy one. How did you pick your name?
It's hilarious. So the way I picked my name is my boy Mondo had me change my Facebook name back in the day to Mike the Creator.
Mhm.
As far as I can believe, I think he's the same one that gave me the name Mike the True as well.
I
And
thought you were about to say he was the one who gave Tyler the Creator name. I was like, wait a second.
That's where the Creator part came from, was Tyler the Creator. We were doing it as a joke because I wasn't making music at this time.
No, I got
And
you.
the Mike the True thing was even a thing before the music. I've always went by that.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's just hilarious how it even happened. And the True part I like because my favorite basketball player, one of them, is Paul Pierce, and his nickname was The Truth. So for me, I'm like Mike the True.
Okay.
You know, so yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It's hilarious how that, I don't even know how the name even became a thing, to be honest.
Hey, sometimes they stick.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it stuck with me all this time. I have had thoughts of wanting to change it before, but I was like, no, I got to stick to it. I got to make him know this name, make him realize like this name ain't no joke, so that's kind of the rundown of it, to be honest.
No, I respect that.
So, yeah.
All right, now let's go ahead and let's talk about your writing process. And we're going to kind of break it down into parts, but we're going to start right at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
So when you get inspired, so you're ready to make music, the urge to create has happened. What do you usually do to get started?
To be honest, I put down writing almost 2 years ago now.
Mm-hmm.
And so I used to write, and for anyone and everyone that understands the writing process of music, there's a thing called writer's block.
Mm-hmm.
That is where you just straight hit a point where you can't write anything else because you can't think of anything. Your brain is like on fire.
Yeah.
And I dealt with it a few times, and I realized when I gain writer's block throughout writing, if it happens halfway through a song, it can happen for days. It ain't just in the moment. It could happen for like a week straight on that specific instrumental that you're writing to.
Yeah.
And I got so sick. I got frustrated. There was one time I left my studio session earlier. I left my studio session early because I couldn't finish writing, and I was writing at the studio.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember one time I was at the studio, and Jason from Yellow Trash Can and Burn Money Studio, he was the one in there when I was recording the song. And I remember there was one time I didn't have the rest of the song written, and I had recorded what I had wrote. And I was like, okay, I gotta write this real quick. He was like, just go in there and do it. And I'm like, bro, I don't have nothing written.
Yeah.
He's like, it doesn't matter. He's like, just go. He's like, just say something and I'll record you, and we'll go until you like what all you put out.
Mm-hmm.
That was my first time ever doing it, and I never turned back. Now, when I go to the studio, I don't really know how engineers feel about it. I don't know if they like it or they hate it or they love it, but when I record with an engineer the way I record, it's very easy. I get songs done in like 10 minutes. When you write, it could take like an hour, to finish a song. Not due to the writing, just because when you're writing and you're reading the writing,
mm-hmm.
at a point, it can sound like a script.
Yeah.
Unless you remember it without being able to look at it. But for me, I have to look at it.
Yeah.
And I was like, man, my music was sounding scripted, and I hated it.
Mm.
And I was just like, man, when I recorded without the writing, I was so comfortable when I was like recording, and I was like able to dance and like feel my music as I'm rapping it, but I'm not even thinking about what I'm saying because like I don't care. I'm just saying whatever, and it just became the music. There was so much life that came to my music. Like I haven't even put really none of the songs out yet that I've done, and I've recorded. I got like songs from a year ago, 2 years ago, I still haven't put out, and I'm still making new music. I'm trying to have a like rollout that will be talked about forever.
Interesting.
So my plan right now is to just, I don't really follow the average underground artist, how you're supposed to present yourself. Like when you look me up, I don't have 100 songs like a lot of artists do, and there's nothing wrong with having a lot of music out, but for me, I'm just being so patient.
Mm-hmm.
In the last like 2 years, I think I've put out like 3 songs, 3 to 5 songs, I think. not including the like tape that I did with Yellow Trash Can. But yeah, I'm just trying to I'm planning my rollout to where, like, in my head, I've already made it.
Yeah.
I am not underground in my head, but to everybody else, I am. But to me, I'm already like up.
Oh yeah.
You know, so
now just
people will understand this when it actually happens very soon. They'll be like, "Oh, this is the shit he was talking about."
Yeah.
You know, so yeah.
Now, without going into too much detail, are you planning on like a small series of singles, a burst of small batch, a couple of albums? Like, if you're sitting on a lot of music, do you at the very least have like a pointed schedule for how things will come out?
Yeah, January definitely starting with, you know, a single, a video, and then probably small batch here and there, a single in between. But it's just like, I don't even know how to really explain the rollout. Like, it's going to be so incredible for me and for my manager, you know, because his resume in the music industry is so stamped.
Yeah.
Like, he got everything you look for when you're wanting to ask a person about managing you. You know, but like I said, the relationship outside of that, like, I've been talking to him for years before I ever mentioned me wanting to be managed by him, you know. So our plan, you know, we haven't jotted down the exact moments of everything, but very soon we will have it all situated, and the rest will be history.
Oh yeah.
You know, so yeah.
Well, that's exciting.
I'm excited. I'm like overly excited. Can't sleep at night type of excited.
Hey, that's just the passion and the charisma right there.
So yeah.
But let's go ahead. Let's get back to the initial question, just because I want to stay on this one topic for a little bit longer. So we've talked about your writing process when you get a track started. Once you've finished a track, so you know, in this case, it sounds like you just kind of lay them down. So once you've got it done from start to finish, how long does it take you to get comfortable and ready to perform it?
Probably by the next morning.
Okay.
Next morning, I would say. I listened to it 100 times going home, 100 times before I could even get out the car when I'm parked at home. And then, like, as soon as I get home, I'll go in the bathroom and, like, sit there for like an hour with the door closed with my music just playing. Like, and honestly, like, a lot of artists, like, I think and I hope do this. Like, I listen to myself more than any other artist. I don't listen to, I love the mainstream and stuff and all the artists, but like, I am my favorite artist, Mike the True. Like, I listen to all my unreleased music every second that I can, you know. So,
and what does that gain you?
Honestly, I think it gives me more confidence, because I never had it. You know, I've always been confident in myself, but in my music, like, when I'm at home, I will go in the living room, put my music on in my living room, and I will literally perform like I'm at like I always say, Rolling Loud. I don't even want to say Rolling Loud. I perform like I'm doing a sold out show for myself all the time, about every single day. I always practice performing. I haven't performed really since 2020, but I haven't missed a beat. If you put me on stage tomorrow, if I get a call and I need to be on stage tomorrow or in 2 days, I'm going to put on the best show. Like, my performance presence is like I say, I live every day like I'm already there. You know, it's really a lifestyle. You know, it's not really a mindset. Like, oh, there's certain moments where you got to think about, like, I always live it. You know, I'm never not there. You know, I'm always on point, you know, so it's very important to be on point when you're not in the limelight, you know?
Yeah, no, I totally get that. Oh yeah.
Got to work hard 24/7.
No, I feel that. And then to kind of round out this question, when we're recording this, it's still 2023 for a few more days, but
yeah,
when it comes out, it'll be 2024. But In 2023, from January to December, how did your process change?
It's a tough question. I don't know if the process, I don't know what necessarily changed, but if I could say anything changed, it was just like blocking out like all the negativity. Because a lot of people pour the negativity, I think, into their music. For me, I don't let it enter the studio with me.
Yeah.
I don't take too many negative moments in my life and capitalize off of them. I could, but I choose not to.
Yeah.
Because I feel like everybody relates to fun. And for me, when I can just vibe to the music, I don't care what anybody's saying on a song. As long as you ain't saying no sus stuff or stuff that'll get you canceled or whatever, I'm just like, if the vibe is right on the song and like, you don't even got to be saying nothing cool or tight. Like, as long as like you're just vibing and you're not off beat, but you're vibing with the beat, like I'm vibing to it, you know? And that's how I feel like you got to present your music, you know? Because if you really look at it, like, there's a lot of and I don't know how to word this, but the older generation will look at this generation of music and they call it like mumble rap or whatever, but it's just fun. It ain't that serious, you know?
No, I get it.
You know, just have fun with it. That's the most important part. These people are trying to make a living. They don't need to be directing their music towards the person talking negatively about it. You know, if you don't like it, you go listen to the music you do like. Yeah. You know, and the people that make music everybody makes music for a variety of, or a certain type of people or a variety of people. Me necessarily, I want everybody listening to my shit. Like every race, every type of person, the cool guys, the nerds, the weirdos, the freaks or whatever, you know, I want everybody listening to it. You know, I don't ever want to cross someone the wrong way to where they're like, I don't think he really likes my kind or something like that. You know, for me, I want to make music to where everybody can understand that I'm just trying to have fun.
Oh, yeah.
So, yeah.
No, I can respect that.
Absolutely.
All right. And then to round out this middle portion altogether, we talk a lot, you know, about the things that happen with music, the reasons, the approaches, the mentalities and stuff. But what is it about music that gives back to you when it's just you and the music one-on-one?
Happiness. When I listen, like, I don't think there's a feeling in the world that gets me like so just up and calm, like excited, calm, and never angry is what it does for me. Like when I hear my music, like I'm on cloud nine every single time. So I think like music just brings me happiness. Like when I can get in my car and I can listen to myself and vibe to it, like that's a crazy feeling.
Oh yeah.
You know, and I feel like for you, like you watch podcasters, I assume.
Actually, mostly music.
Oh,
I don't do a lot of podcasts.
No. Like you only, are you saying you don't watch podcasts at all?
Not a ton of them, no.
Oh, that's crazy. I would assume. Well, for you, like, so you don't watch podcasts, but if you do, you probably would watch yourself, and you probably spend a lot of time watching yourself.
You know, I gotta be honest, not a lot, because I edit my own stuff. So I've already seen, you know what I mean? So like I don't need to see the finished product per se. I've seen all of the parts, you know what I mean? So like, and you know, I just like, I'm also always, you know, working on the next one. So it's a little bit different for me because I'm putting out, you know, essentially 5 songs a week, if you would, but they're episodes. Yeah. But I get what you're saying. And I think that being able to enjoy, I mean, when I was producing music full time, when I was making music for myself and with other people, that was a big part of it for me. Is I had to make sure it was something that I could vibe to in all the situations that I existed in. Yeah. That was something I really looked for, was like, can I listen to it while I'm doing the dishes, while I'm walking the dog, while I'm, going to the grocery store, while I'm driving on a good day, while I'm driving on a bad day. Like, it was important to me to have the music exist in as many settings as possible. And whenever possible, have different elements of the song exist in those different settings. So, and I mean, that's not always doable in all its respects, but it was definitely something I really focused on as far as like the music being ready to release.
Yeah. That's
so
crazy.
So I get that 100%.
You understand?
Hell yeah.
You understand.
Yeah. All right. But now we're going to go ahead and we're going to move on to some hypothetical questions.
Okay.
And these ones, the questions are all made up, so the answers are allowed to be as well. And for this first one, it's a pretty standard one. But if you could work with anybody in the world, and like the only requirement, they have to be alive, who would you want to work with, and how would you want to work with them?
For the longest, I would say CeeLo Green, but right now in the present, it would be Playboy Carti.
Okay.
And how I would work with him, go in a little more depth into that question, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no, I like, so, just because you pick somebody who is like, another musical artist, if you like what they do production wise, or you wanted them to even like be, a part of the team that you're building and think like, they don't have to just do a track with you, or like you could jump on their track, they could jump on your track. Like, how would you design a situation to interact with them?
In that case, I would want him to basically like, so if we were talking in terms of like a movie, but in a song version, I would want him to direct it.
Okay.
So like I would want him to sit there and coach me on the song, because he knows how to shift back and forth.
So you'd basically want to be in one of the producers on the song?
No. I would want to make the song like vocal wise.
Yeah. Well, more like a producer, the role can also, at least for my understanding of the word, they can be somebody who's present in the production of the song. They could be instructive and guiding, and even just incentive. Like, they could just be like, hey, I think this, or I heard this idea in my head. Why don't you try it this way?
Yeah.
Sometimes it could just be somebody in the room who's just like listening to the song happening at the same time as you and giving suggestions.
Yeah. I would want him to just like literally like coach the song.
Yeah.
Because like I just gotta understand that man's mindset.
Yeah. Hearing how they think about approaching it.
Yeah.
Getting into it after.
Being able to shift a crowd of a ambush amount of fans to like whatever you're making, they're liking is crazy.
Yeah.
It's just like the what they call the Swifties, Taylor Swift's fans. Like, if she makes anything, they're loving and they're gonna scream it.
Yep.
And that's exactly how his fan base is. So I wouldn't even want to jump the gun and be like, because a lot of people are like, oh, I would love to make a song. I'm like, but I would just want to learn from him first. Yeah. Because I feel like knowledge, you would get way more out of it taking the knowledge from him than taking a song with him.
Hell yeah.
So.
No, I get that. It's a really good answer to that question too. And then subsequently, who's a local artist that you're aware of that you haven't gotten to work with yet, but you would like to?
A local artist that I'm aware of that I have not been able to work with. I would say a local artist. When you say local, are you meaning from here, or they're currently here?
We could say currently here. Somebody that you'd be able to work with, like, say they saw this episode come out, or somebody who knew them saw this episode that came out and added them in the comments.
That's a tough one. I'm going to be honest. I don't really know how to answer that, because I don't really I try to zero everybody out.
Okay.
Besides myself. And it's nothing against any of that. Portland has a shit ton of amazing artists. Yeah. But I really don't pay too much attention, because I need to put all that when I have time, when I'm able to pay attention to everybody and all the artists, I 100% will. Okay. But as of right now, I have to put all my attention toward myself.
I gotcha.
But I do support everybody, all the artists from Portland, love them, everybody from Portland. Like, we're doing a outstanding job music-wise right now, and we're producing more and more stars. And I can't wait to see the next few that come out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got to stand on it.
Oh yeah, I did that. And then for this next one, like I said before, sky's the limits, and it's literal in this sense. But if you could perform anywhere in the world, and you wouldn't have to worry about crowd access, building stability, power, guaranteed best lineup, guaranteed best show. And it doesn't have to be a venue. It can be anywhere in the world. Where would you want to perform?
I'd have to go with the Madison Square Garden.
Okay. Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
It's between there and the Moda Center, obviously. I would love to, but that would be a no-brainer. Like, obviously the Moda Center, but
yeah. I mean, MSG is huge.
Or the MGM Grand.
Yeah, okay. Hell yeah.
I don't know if they do concerts there, but I would do there. Also, a new one would be the Sphere in Las Vegas.
That answer's definitely been popping up.
Be tight, bro.
You know, I'm going to be honest. I couldn't even begin to imagine a show doing a show there. I mean, granted,
they will never,
in a music setting.
Yeah, they will never have like a rapper perform there, probably.
They will.
You think so?
It's Vegas.
Oh, it's
Vegas.
It's like the way
yeah,
like everyone's standing at a slant. I don't know. That would be pretty dangerous.
No, I mean it's pretty similar to like Red Rock and things like that. Yeah. There's rails and people understand where they're at to a degree. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true.
But I mean somebody will one day.
Yeah. I'm gonna go with Madison Square Garden, MGM, and then the Sphere.
Hell yeah.
For my third one.
Oh yeah. I'll be honest, Madison Square Garden is where I would love to do an episode of the show as well. I've said it on one of the past episodes.
I've never even been in there before, but the energy is just crazy in there.
Yeah. Hell yeah. All right. And then to round out the hypothetical questions, if you could get an album from any one person, they could be alive, they could be dead, they could have just put out an album yesterday, they could have not put out an album in 100 years, who would you want an album from? And when would you want that album to have come out?
So this is about a person who isn't here anymore.
They can be. Any art, like I said, they could have literally just put out an album yesterday and you could want another one from them today. But just any artist.
I would say a album from any artist. I would have to say CeeLo Green.
Hell yeah.
That's just my dog. I love, I don't know a crazy amount of his music, but he's such a huge part in my music career. Listening to him, his voice, his creativity, whenever he's on a song, it's just heaven.
Yeah.
So I would say CeeLo Green. And I would want him to come out with a album of R&B, but not love R&B, just good feel good music, like house music in a way almost, So.
If he could do his thing over Andre 3000's new album, but with beat, it's got to be whoever produces the beat has got to kill the beat.
Absolutely.
But you put those three together. And I mean, like I said, you could even take Andre's album that just came out.
That's a monster.
Yeah, that. Oh man, now everybody at all of those people in the comments,
all of them.
That would be huge.
I was gonna say I swear that was the first person I thought it was Andre 3000, but I was like, yeah, but I gotta go where my home is, and that's CeeLo Green.
Honestly, musically, CeeLo really did a lot. I don't think anybody even understands, because I tried to dive his music a while back. It's very eclectic. He's got an odd variety of things.
That's what I was saying. You can't really just turn his music on.
No, even when you get to his albums,
something you specifically like. But when you do like something by him, it's unexplainable.
Yeah, he's got such a good presence of voice. And he carries it through everything. There's an episode of, I think it's American Dad, where he's the voice of the hot tub.
Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. And it's phenomenal.
100,000.
It's phenomenal. Times. It's so good.
I only watched the episode because he was in it all the time. American Dad, that was my show, but yeah, the hot tub, CeeLo Green. Yeah, he killed that whole everything he sung in there. He killed it.
Yeah.
Wow, that's crazy. I didn't think you knew about that. That's that was me years ago.
Mhm,
Like,
mhm.
wow, that is insane that you just brought that up.
Hell yeah. All right. Now, we're going to go ahead and we're going to start wrapping this up.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't you tell us what we can look forward to in, say, the second quarter of 2024?
Second quarter of 2024.
Yeah, so like, let's say March onwards.
March, it's just gonna be a lot of madness. That's all I can say.
Is that a basketball reference? No, just kidding.
Almost nothing calm. It's on. You know, it's on when March hits around. It's like passed on. When February happens, I'm gonna do something crazy as well that nobody knows about. But in February, I got something crazy going on too. But yeah, it's gonna be on and cracking.
Hell yeah. And then for this next one, go ahead and look straight at the camera and tell everybody how they can find you.
You can find me on Instagram, SoundCloud, not Twitter, but you can find me on Twitter. I don't post nothing on there, but Instagram, SoundCloud, Mike the True, all Mike the True on all the tags and handles. Keep in mind when you come to me, you know, and you get to my page, I don't move how everybody moves. I don't move how you want an artist to move. I move in a way that it's gonna benefit you guys when it happens, and it's coming real soon. 2024, be on the watch, be on the lookout, and that's all I can tell you.
Hell yeah. And then any other plugs, any other shout outs, anybody else you want to put on while you're on here?
Just my boy Mac, you know, my manager Mac, he's holding it down. You know, I can count on him from here in the moon, you know, so that's all, you know. We the next Tupac and Suge.
Hell yeah. Well, maybe we'll get him on a future episode.
Yeah, I would love to be able to make that happen.
Hell
you
yeah.
know, we'll see. But yeah.
Hell yeah. And then all right, we got one last question to go, but before we do, I'm gonna steal the camera for just a second.
Do your thing.
As always, y'all, please make sure to like, subscribe, push all the buttons, do all the things. You know, I don't know where they are, but you do, and I trust you. And one more shout out to the Brothers Apothecary. Make sure to click the link below and go get you some. With that being said, the final question. And this is entirely up to your interpretation. But what is an album that you feel is more on the obscure side, less people know about it than they should, but you think it's one everybody should know?
I'm gonna have to go with my album in 2024. And that's what I'm at. That's gonna be my final answer.
All right,
It'll be my album when it comes out, and that's the one everybody's gonna need to know. And I don't know if enough people are gonna find out about it. I think they will. I'm gonna make sure of it, but that's the album that they're gonna need to know.
Oh, yeah. Just for the sake of the question, though, let's dig into something. Give us something we can listen to before that comes out.
Before, I would say, let's see, an album that you need to go listen to. Go listen to Whole Lotta Red by Playboi Carti.
Hell yeah.
And then, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Just go listen to that. That's what I got to tell people.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
That was the biggest shift in music, in artist music history, I think.
Hell yeah.
So, yeah.
All right, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Thank you for having me, man.
Hell yeah.
And thank you guys, too,
Yeah.
for
This
watching.
has been another exciting episode of Jimmy's Jambox. I'm Jimmy.
Mike the True.
And we're signing off. Later, y'all.
That's a wrap.
This is not a podcast. This is a show.
Keep jamming.